Hey guys, Ashley here. Today, finally, I am going to be reviewing A Conjuring of Light by V.E. Schwab. So Ashley, why did it take you 3 weeks to read this freaking book? Here is why. I started reading this, really pumped, super excited, finale of one of my all-time favorite fantasy series, and then reading slump. I already knew I was in it. I went into it knowing that I did not want to read anything. But, lo and behold, this is what happened. I would literally read 10 pages, put it down, pick it up again, 10 pages, and this is why it took me 3 weeks when it should have taken me only 3 days. I feel so ashamed. On Twitter, everybody was like, oh my god, read this in one sitting, and it's freaking April and I just now finished The Conjuring of Light. Why? For those of you who aren't familiar with the Darker Shade of Magic series, first of all, what are you doing with your life? Go pick up these books. The first one is A Darker Shade of Magic. It surrounds a gentleman named Kel, and he is one of the last remaining magicians with the rare ability to travel in between parallel universes. And those universes that I'm talking about are different Londons. Yes, he can travel between different Londons. There's Red London, White London, Grey London. If that sounds interesting to you, check it out and then come back here and watch my review for Conjuring of Light. Okay. I'm not going to get too in-depth in this review. I'm going to keep it pretty raw for you guys. Sorry, I didn't take any organized notes, play-by-play of what happened here. This is basically just going to be a random gush of all my feelings towards this book. So let me just say, this is one of the best finales I have ever read for a series. If you have any hesitations of picking this up, do not. Just buy it. It was so good. I mean, she did the characters so much justice. So no worries, no tears, everything's good. Amazing. I am so, I could not be more satisfied with this ending. 'Cause let me tell you, so many times I will read a book, read towards the end, the last couple pages, and be like, really? That's it? That's it? No. This one, I remember I would be like on this page and be like, oh my god, there's more. More. So one thing that stood out the most to me was the passages. We get passages about sideline characters. Especially we get to know a lot about Ryan Kell's parents, and that was super fascinating to me. You can see what they deal with, what it feels like to be the freaking king and queen of Red London. It is not easy, and I just felt so hard for them. You really get to see the family dynamic that Kell and Ryan grew up in. It's just super intriguing and adds so much to their characters. I love those scenes. Also, can we talk about Holland? Oh my gosh, Holland. I freaking hated him in A Gathering of Shadows. Holland, I would be like, let's just get back to the tournament. I don't care about you. You're evil. Bye. But I have to say, in A Conjuring of Light, he really redeemed himself for me. You get to read passages about his past life. You get to see scenes about why he is the way he is and what he does and why he does it. You get to see people he's killed and the guilt he feels from doing that. I fell for Holland, guys. I'm sorry to say, and if you disagree with me, I'm sorry, but Holland really touched my heart in this last one. Yeah. So when reading A Gathering of Shadows, when Alucard Emery was introduced, I was like, okay, who is this? And I feel like in Gathering of Shadows, you're not supposed to kind of like him just because all the stuff that you've been told that he did to Rye, like that betrayal, the heartbreak, whatever. This is such a character-driven story at times. Like, obviously there's so much action, like powers, like all the magic and stuff like that, but character-wise, Alucard really stood out to me in this book. He just, so much character development, and I think just so much, again, with all the backstory we get, and what I said earlier, we get to know about his past, like his family, who he was before all this drama with Rye and Kell happened. Like, oh, and it just made me fall in love with him so much more. He's definitely one of the standout characters, I thought, in this one, and I'm just living for it. One of the things I love about Victoria Schwab's writing, it is so freaking addictive. I mean, yes, I did take 3 weeks to read this, but I already explained that. You know why. I feel ashamed. Feel free to shame me, like the lady from freaking Game of Thrones. You know what I'm talking about? Like that Belle lady where she's like, shame, shame. Freaking Cersei walking down the path getting shamed. But her writing is so addictive. I swear all the other Schwab books I read in like a day. And if I wasn't in a reading slump, I would have read this in a day. But it's so addictive. And I love, like, I think I know what's going to happen, but it goes in places I just would not expect. Like, every single thing, I was just so amazed. And her world building, all these cool, unique places that she creates. So I'm trying to think of a way to describe how much I was satisfied by this ending, and the only thing I can think of, sitting in the movie theater watching Deathly Hallows Part 2, that ending epilogue, you see Ron, Hermione, and Harry, and they're just looking off into the distance. That is me reading these last like 40 pages of this book. So much satisfaction. So much. Each character she sent off so well, and I'm so sad to see these people leave. If I wasn't reading this in the library at school in public, I probably would be in tears bawling. Victoria Schwab, I wish I could just quote a million words in this book because it was so beautifully written. I ended up giving this one 5 stars on my Goodreads because it totally deserves it. She rocked this one out of the park, guys. Freaking amazing. So yeah, 5 stars, but kind of 4 stars on the reading experience. Again, no way is that towards the content. The words in here were the best. But 4-star reading experience just because of my 3-week struggle. Like, it wasn't as impactful of a reading experience as I would have liked, and again it's because of the reading slump, so I probably will reread this again in the future with the series just so I get that full effect of the finale. But totally 5 stars all the way. Alright guys, that is it for my review of A Conjuring of Light. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I'm sorry, this was just like a ramble of all my feelings, not really a point-by-point review. I just really wanted you to get the gist of what this book made me feel. So again, if you have hesitations, do not hesitate to pick this baby up. You will not be disappointed. I am Ashley from Ashley A Page. If you enjoyed what you saw, be sure to give it a thumbs up in the down bar below. As always, subscribe. Thank you so much. Bye guys.